A warm welcome to today's live stream. My name is Uzair, and it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK on Friday, the 29th of July 2022. Every weekday on a Tuesday and Friday, I go live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, where you can join me and ask any questions you may have, and also learn a bit of Google Ads. And that's what I focus on and concentrate on. So today I've got quite a few very interesting questions, and I'll start with sharing my screen and get the show started. So if you are new to this live stream, then the format of these sessions are very friendly and informal. I'll cover today's topic. It could be a workflow, it could be how to do something in Google Ads. We jump into the interface or wherever, and I'll teach you and show you how to do things. And quite often, I will just collate a set of questions which have been sent across to me on by email, YouTube, Facebook, and so on. And we'll just go through each of these questions. So I've got a fair few today, and I think we're going to start on those. So um, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment box wherever you're watching this from, whether it's on YouTube or any other place, and I'll see them in my portal. They all get aggregated, and towards the end of the session, I will bring them up on the screen and try my best to answer them for you. So let's get started. Okay. So you should be able to see my screen. All right. So the first question is from Sami. I'll try and zoom in a bit so those of you watching on a mobile can see this a bit bigger. All right. So what is the best choice to choose if I have no data about the audience? I'm interested in getting leads for a roofer. Okay, so you are looking to start a lead generation campaign, and these are the campaign goals. So it says here, when you're setting up your campaign, select the goal that you would make this campaign successful to you. So it really doesn't matter whether you have data or no data in the account. If it's a brand new account, obviously it's going to be zero data in the account. So every campaign starts from a zero, and all you do is you will select the goal, whether it's for sales, for e-commerce websites, leads, for lead generation. If you just want brand awareness, branding, or driving traffic to a website or a blog, then you click on this one, which is the website traffic, or to a specific page on your blog or website, then you do that. If you are looking for the top of the funnel traffic, so product and brand consideration and brand awareness and reach. So these two are for them. If you've got an app you want to promote and get downloads for, you do that. And if you have got a brick and mortar store or a restaurant or a shop and you want people to visit you, then the goal is for the local store visits, and you get found more on Google Maps and stuff like that. So that's how you pick up these goals. And you can also create a campaign without any of these goals. The only restriction is if you select one or the other, you might get one type of bidding strategy and not the other. So if you want everything in your arsenal, you want to target, then you start with the campaign goal guidance. So it just tells Google's algorithm what you are looking for. So I would recommend going back 2 3 years, I would say just start with without a goal guidance. But now with the algorithm, the way it is going and heading towards getting clever and clever and smarter and smarter day by day, I would say just select one of these and you'll be good to go. Okay. So Usman had sent me this question: how to track add to cart and checkout for Google Ads. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. One is obviously through Google Analytics and Tag Manager. You set up events and goal tracking, and then you can import those micro conversions as a goal. Now, let me talk about this because it's a great question. And okay, you can see this fine. All right. Now, you have your add to cart, start, checkout. You can have billing over here. Depends on how your shopping cart has been set up. And then obviously thank you page or order confirmation. Right. So these are the 4 steps you can track. Now, obviously, this is your main conversion or the primary conversion. Okay. I'll put this here as primary. I'll just reduce this a bit. Okay. Now, if they don't take these actions, they are never going to end up over here. So if you have got very little or no data in the account, then how do you optimize your campaigns? Because you don't have any conversions to optimize for. So what we do is we would then set up these as page views, right? And this would be your secondary conversion. And so will this be, and so will this one be. So we'll be tracking 3 secondary conversions because we want to optimize for this add to cart. If they don't do it, they're not going to start checking out and start billing and obviously buy something. And this, what you can do is easily create in Google Ads these conversions. So this, the way we name it as step 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what you do is you set up your custom conversions in Google Ads and bring it up in your column view. So then you've got step 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you'll be able to see how many add to cart, how many go to the checkout page, billing page, and the thank you page. So that's how you would do it. So set up conversions in Google Ads. These 4 conversions, 3 of them would be secondary, and the 4th one would be primary. If you're using Shopify, then you can also do that straightforward. All of these can be done very easily and quickly. But even if you're not using Shopify, then yes, you can set these up. And then the way we do it is we go into Google Tag Manager and set up that conversion ID and conversion label and say step 1, which is add to cart. The page URL contains or is /cart, or the billing would be /billing, and so on. However you set it up, then it's going to track on each of these page as a page view, right? So that is something which is very easy to do, but is very powerful when it comes to optimization. And then all you do is you start to optimize and you look at this data. First, you look at these secondary conversions, and then once you've got primary or the thank you pages being triggered by people placing the order, then you switch in the campaign settings which conversion action you would like to optimize for. So I hope that this helps. So I've got some few comments from Digital Business Grow from India and LL Marketing. Yep, walaikum assalam as well, my friend. So good. Glad you guys are being here. And yeah, please start putting in your comments or questions if you want me to cover. And even if you're not on YouTube and you're watching on LinkedIn, Facebook, just put them in. I will see them towards the end of our session. We also, I would like to for sure invite you, all of you, to our Facebook group, which is free to join. And we're building up a nice little community in there of like minded professionals. Okay, hi, Ivan. I've noticed fraudulent clicks from recurring IP addresses. Okay, pasted them into IP exclusions, yet still find clicks from those IP addresses days later. Any explanations to this? Um, so you also need to look at whether Google has classified them as invalid clicks as well. And you will see under your billing history that you might have had some credit for those clicks. If they still pop up in there, I would recommend that you speak to Google support. And the best way to do that nowadays is obviously the phone support is restricted in some countries. I'm not sure where you are. Best way is to create a little Loom video or a screen sharing video and show them what you've done when you put in the IP addresses in the exclusion list. And after that, those IPs are still popping up. And then they're going to have a look at it and sort it out. So my advice to you is to contact Google support for this, please. All right. So this is one of the most common questions I'm asked: how long it takes to become an expert, how difficult it is, and I cannot answer this question, neither can anyone else, because Oliver might learn at a faster or a slower pace than Izukanji. Everybody is different. You cannot expect everybody to learn at the same pace and or become an expert in the same amount of time. And expert is a very broad word. Who do you call an expert, right? Who knows someone who knows everything about Google and got all the certifications and gets no results for their clients, or someone who has learned Google Ads by themselves and are generating leads and sales and running profitable campaigns for their clients. I would say the latter person, right? All you need to do is to become good in Google Ads and start running campaigns which perform and are profitable. And in my eyes, that person is an expert because they are making money for their clients and making money for themselves as well. So everybody has got a different way of learning, and they will have different level of experience and so on. All I would say to you is just focus on one thing and become really focused on getting good at Google Ads if that's what you want to learn. Because again, how difficult is it to learn advertising? Well, advertising includes Google Ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, LinkedIn, many other channels as well. I would not recommend you try to do that, because when somebody sends me a message or a CV and they say I'm an expert in SEO, Google Ads, Facebook, YouTube, straight away my interest has gone away from them, because that person is a generalist. I need specialist people who just focus on one. So if you want to get more jobs, or you want to become a freelancer or want to work for a company, all you tell them is, this is all I do. You don't see me talking about Facebook over here or Instagram, right? It's only about Google Ads. Even though I can probably run Facebook ads better than most professionals, marketeers, and agencies, but I choose not to because my focus is just Google ads and Google ads only. So I hope this helps. But yeah, good questions. All right. So my offer is 400, spend 400, get 400. So if I spend 400 in a few days, will they still take the payment from me, or will the new invoice include the free 400 credit and I pay nothing? Good question. And this is something which everybody gets a little bit confused. And this is about the coupon codes which you get from Google Ads, which you then put it in your account. And quite often Google will auto apply new accounts with the offer if they are running any offers, and these offers are in different countries and different amounts. So this obviously is in pounds, which is in the UK. So as it says over here, my offer is spend 400 and get 400. So you need to spend that amount first, and then you will get another 400 pounds worth of equivalent in that first 30 days. Whatever you spend does not mean that if you got a coupon code for 400 and you spend only 200 and you'll get 400. No, it is the same exact amount. So if you spend 200, you get 200 back. And as a credit for the next 200, you won't get charged. So in month one, let's say you spend 200, then you get the credit. Then in month two, you spend, let's say, 500, then the 200 pound will be applied as a coupon code. So the balance you will have to pay is 300. So that's how this works. So unfortunately, yes, you will get charged the first amount, and then the second, the coupon code will kick in, and you will get the coupon code. But still, it's free money from Google. So spend as much as you can, because after that first 30 days, you will not be able to claim that additional amount for the money budget which you did not spend. Okay, Vilayek. Okay. When the result from Google Ads said my most clicks is from YouTube, what does it mean? I don't have any YouTube ads, just Google ads and Facebook ads. So I guess you are running either a display campaign or a video campaign or possibly a performance max campaign. So what that means is where your ads were shown. So you don't need to run YouTube ads because you may be running a display campaign, but the placement where it got placed is on YouTube, and that's what this implies. And obviously, Google Ads run ads on YouTube channels, videos, and those on the homepage as well. Okay, thank you, Shafiq. Good info on creating a separate landing page and creating an account level negative keyword list. Yes, absolutely. Never, I'm just going to put some notes over here. Never send or run traffic to homepage, right? Unless it is for a very specific campaign like brand awareness or something like that. If it's a service or a category of your products, then you send them to those pages. And the negative keywords, you can either set up at ad group level, campaign, or account level. So any campaign, any keywords or search terms which you don't want your ads to run for, you put them at account level. So let's say if you're running a campaign for car insurance and you don't do home insurance or business insurance, then words like home, business, smartphone or any other kind of insurance you can think of, health, life, those go in account level. And those campaigns you need to apply to that account level list. So then it's going to block out any campaigns in your account which are running campaigns, will not run for those. So you save a lot of money. And that's how you do it. But certain specific search terms or keywords which may not apply to that campaign or ad group, then you put them at these levels. So these are the 3 levels which you must run your negative keywords and update them regularly. And just a little request, if you haven't liked, shared, and subscribed to our channel, then please do so. I'll appreciate it very much. And if you do want your Google Ads account audited, then we offer a free, no obligation audit. All you do is just get in touch with me through my website or through our social channels. We'll set up a time, and then I'll give you some helpful and handy tips on how to optimize your campaigns, how to make your account more profitable, where the leakages and the wastage are happening. And we go through all the various sections in your account. So get in touch if you would like to get your account audited. Okay. How to connect your Google Analytics and Google Ads account through Tag Manager. So all you do is you take the Analytics ID. Now you need to start transferring it to G4, but you take the UA number, go to Tag Manager. There is a preset for tag or for Google Analytics. All you do is just enter that in there and trigger it on all pages of your website. That's it. It literally is like a 1-minute job. It's not complicated and super simple, and you'll be able to run it. But you need to have obviously your analytics and your tag manager. But that is running through that. So what you're saying is how to connect your Google. Oh, I see. This is what something different you're asking, is how to link it. So in Google Analytics, you have under the, when you go to settings, and in the middle column, which is the properties one, it's called ads linking or ads link. You click on it, put in the 10-digit ID of your Google Ads account, and that will link. You don't need Tag Manager to link Analytics or Google Ads account. It just links directly between the two, and Analytics is going to then talk to Google Ads. But if you want to run Analytics on your website through Tag Manager, then that's how you would do it. You go into a Tag Manager, take the UA ID, and set up that tag and the trigger. Which plugin can we use to track Shopify conversions and conversion value? So Shopify has got one of the best plugins, and it's kind of like, it's literally plug and play, to be honest with you, when it comes to tracking Google Ads conversions and conversion value. There are lots of different apps in Shopify. Choose whichever one you like, but there is one particular one. I can't remember the name of that plugin from the top of my head, but it has got the most installs or reviews or something like that. Just go with that. It's called the Google Ads one, actually. Plug it into your Shopify website, and pretty much it is that easy. So Shopify is really, really simple and easy to set up your conversions and the conversion value. Conversion value, for those of you might wonder, why do we need the conversion value? Because each order is potentially of a different amount, unless you just sell one product at a time, which is the same price. So some orders would be for $10, some could be for 100, some could be for 200, and we need to bring those value in Google Ads so that we can work out the ROAS, which is the return on ad spend, and where we are getting the best bang for our buck. And those are the campaigns, ad groups, which we want to scale. which are giving us the best results. Okay. Great question, Brandon. Most effective advertising method. So my method is simple. I want to reach my audience at every possible touch point, be it on Google, YouTube, Display Network, Gmail, Discover, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever they go, I want to follow them. And that is going to be your most effective advertising method. My best analogy for this is if you want to win a war, you need to attack from the air, by the sea, and by land. You can't just send in a few fighter planes, throw a few bombs, and come back. You are never going to win the war. What you need to do is to have a 360-degree um, marketing campaign. You want to be like that octopus, right? If they go there, you catch them. If they go here, they catch. If you go over there, you catch them. Wherever they go or your audiences go, you want to be in front of them. This is how you build up your brand. You have a brand lift, and the most effective way for me is to have that conversion over here and not on a web form or a website, because somebody may not need my expertise or my services right now, but when they do need someone to run their Google ads or learn Google ads from, the first name which comes in their mind is my name. So this is why I keep going live twice a week. I upload, well, I don't, but me and my team, my team does upload videos every weekday, and we create a lot of content. We are creating a lot of buzz, a lot of noise, so that we get seen and heard. Internet is a very noisy and busy place. You got to stand out from the crowd, and that is how I would classify an effective advertising campaign, where you are seen everywhere. So when somebody comes to me and says, "Oh, Uzair, I see you ads everywhere. Wherever I go on the internet, you're there." For me, that those ads have done the work. The conversion has happened for me, even though it's not literally in black and white. Not everything in advertising is black and white. Yes, you need to have that positive ROI and the ROAS, but you cannot quantify that brand lift and that brand awareness in numbers. You can, to a certain extent, by the increase in direct traffic or by the brand traffic and so on. But certain things, when somebody tells me that they see me everywhere and they feel excited about that because they know that I can do the same thing for them. That's how you want to be running your campaigns. So hope these helps. These questions are great, by the way. Thank you so much for everyone for sending these in. Okay, Sarkis, hi. When replying by video on Quora questions, how do you put your face on background while talking? Any free video software? So you can see behind me is the green screen. So what I've done is I've painted my wall green, so I don't have to bring in the background on a stand every now and then. It's out of the way, and I'm on my desk right now, and the wall is always going to be behind me. So whenever I'm shooting, I can shoot very quickly without having to do any setup. I don't know about free, but the ones which I would recommend, and they are very inexpensive to be honest with you, is Camtasia, ScreenFlow, is Mac only. Um, can't think of any other, but if you um, type in, let's go, free video editing app or something like that. Vimeo is paid, I know. Adobe is paid as well. Filmora, I've heard of very good things about that as well. Filmora, which is really good. But then here there are some free video editing software. So just go to Google and it will give you quite a few. Shopify, see 12 best free video editing software for 2022. All right. There you go, my friend. You got Hit Film Express, Lightworks, iMovie, VideoPad, and so on. I've heard good things about KineMaster as well. I think I've used it. Um, whichever one you like, you go for it. Okay, so hope that answered your question. Okay, Hasib. I'm facing the issue related to ads disapproval. Error is destination not working on iOS devices. I have checked everything from your side and or from my side and development end. Um, well, obviously I can't answer that. The only thing I can say to you is there will be some issues on your hosting. If you have checked everything and everything is fine, then appeal to Google that everything is working fine, because sometimes the automated bots sometimes disapprove your ads, and then you need to get a manual review done. Because what happens with Google ads, it's not like once they've checked it, it's set and done. No, they will constantly and regularly check your URL, because Google is all about user experience. When somebody clicks on a user on an ad, they don't want to send the person to a 404 page or a page which is non-existent. That is not a good user experience, and this is why we love Google. When was the last time you clicked on a link and it went to something which wasn't working? Hardly ever, because of the exactly the same reason which I've just mentioned. So yeah, ask for a manual review, and this should be sorted out. No problem. Okay, Google is showing conversion 9, click 6. Okay, I'm trying to understand what you've written. So 9 clicks, 6 conversions on by default. Google call reporting on calls from ads, but no calls were made. How is it possible it's showing conversions? Okay, so it's showing 6 conversions and you got 9 clicks, and basically you did not get any conversions. So one of the best ways to rectify this issue is very simple and easy. When you set up a conversion action, set up for a minimum time. So if your call conversion is more than 60 seconds or 30 seconds or something like that, then you will classify that as a conversion. Sometimes these invalid clicks or bot clicks will mess up the data and muddy it. What I would recommend is do that is just put in a minimum number of seconds for your calls to be classified as a conversion. Okay, I'm going to go to the comments now, which are sent. Just give me a moment. So please start putting your questions in. Okay, hi Amit. So you're on LinkedIn. Thanks for joining in. Please say something about target impression share. We hardly ever use that, to be honest with you, unless it is for a brand campaign and you want your um, branding, and also you want as much impression share as possible. So that's what it is, the target impressions share. So you set up your target impression share that I want 90% or more, or 80% or more. Then you would do that. I can't remember the last time we used this bidding strategy. So there's not a lot to talk about or say about, only that you are bidding very aggressively so you don't lose out in the auction. And obviously you get that, you win that impression in the auction. Okay, nobody tells about it. It's because not many people use it. Perhaps some a big at enterprise level accounts, they probably might use it, but I don't know of many agencies using a target impression share. LL marketing, yep. Walaikum salam as well to you, brother or sister. I don't know. Okay. Hello, I don't see your name because you're from Facebook. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. I hope you are doing great as well. Okay, I do have some questions. How to implement ROAS bidding strategies, or on which businesses we should use ROAS? ROAS is return on ad spend. You can use ROAS for lead generation as well as e-commerce. E-commerce is a must because you want to know which are the most profitable campaigns. So if you are spending one on Google, £1 or dollar on Google, and you get 4 or 5 back, then you know your return on ad spend, right? How many times you are getting back. For e-commerce stores and accounts, then you need to take out your direct cost of goods, and then you can work it out that way. We have a formula. I think I'll cover this in one of the next sessions as to how to calculate your return on ad spend. And then you can work out your minimum or break even ROAS, because once you hit that break even point, then the budget should not and does not come into play, as long as the customer can cope up with the number of orders. If they were doing 20 orders a month and all of a sudden they're getting 200 orders a day, then that can be a big problem, because they will not be able to cope up. They don't have the manpower or the staff, and also the cash flow issues might come in because they'll have to buy more products and goods, and lots of problems, right? So you need to work with your clients and go and ask them how fast they want to grow, or how high they want to jump, and this is how you would go ahead and set up your ROAS. For lead generation, so in our case, we are a marketing agency. We don't sell physical products, we sell services. We too can work out which campaigns are performing the best and getting us the best bang for our buck, when we can import our conversion value back into Google Ads via our CRM. So if we get a lead, the lead books an appointment with us, the salesperson will hop on a call like this perhaps, and then they convert offline. They are not converting online. Google Ads doesn't know that lead has converted or not. And once they have converted, we mark that obviously in our CRM, that is a conversion, and the amount or whatever you put in, and that conversion value and that lead is sent back into Google Ads. So it's a little bit more advanced. Google has made it pretty straightforward to do that, to import offline conversions, and then you can work out your return on ad spend on lead generation campaigns as well, which is a very powerful way. Because if I don't care if I get thousands of leads, I just need a handful of lead which gives me a great profit or a good profit, and I'm happy with that. So why would I need to go after the cost per conversion? I'd rather go after the return on ad spend. Okay, Omar, I've started Google Ads and 5 days already passed, but I'm not getting any impressions. I'm getting only 2 to 3 impressions per day. So it's probably that your campaign setting is too tight, your bidding is not very aggressive. You need to increase the bids. If you are running on a manual CPC campaign, look at your keywords, see if they have got any search volume or not. If you are targeting keywords which nobody's searching for, then obviously you're not going to get any impressions. Check your negative keywords, that you have not blocked any good keywords as well. So there's lots of things which you can do, but the first thing I would do is to make sure that you got the bids are aggressive, your keywords are good, and if you can't get any impressions on exact or phrase, then go broad and see if it starts to run. But if it starts to run, then keep a very close eye on the search terms and keep adding them in your negative list as quickly as possible, because the broad keyword is going to be the cheapest click, right? But obviously, broad being broad, you're going to get very some of the clicks not very relevant. So by adding negatives regularly is going to counter that effect and get you the cheapest click as well as the targeted click. Hi Shafiq, can I use the same keyword in more than one campaign, or will it cause a conflict? Yes, it will cause a conflict, but why would you do that? Why are you making more work for yourself? You don't need to have the same keyword in multiple um, campaigns. OBS, yeah. Yeah, OBS is a good one for video recording. It's free. It's really good. We used to use OBS before. All right, now we use Restream for restreaming. But I don't know if OBS can do green screen or not. I didn't use it for that. So if anybody does know, please put them in the comment to help the who did someone asked that question. I can't remember the name. When should we use manual CPC? Whenever you want, really. With manual CPCs, with the bidding, with the way the algorithm and the AI is, why do all the heavy lifting? It will from time to time give you a crazy cost per click, but overall it has got a lot more data points that this person is likely to convert or not. All we look as humans is that bid. We only have one data point to look at, which is how much are we bidding, $1, $5, $10. Whereas the smart bidding has got thousands, tens of thousands of data points they're looking at, and they are going to bid more aggressively if Google thinks that that person is likely to convert, and bid less aggressively if they think they are not likely to convert. So you can use both as well and try it out. Quite often we will run a manual campaign as well as a target CPA running, side by side, and see which one is performing best. And as always, I'm going to say, look, test it out. I know it's everybody says the same thing, but they say it for a reason, that you've got to run it, you've got to spend some money. You will feel that it's wasting money, but it's not. It's because you are satisfied. You know that you've tried it and it didn't work. I'm going to try something different. Okay, I think when we should use CPC, I've done that. Okay, Mohi. If I said automatic bidding for conversion, the CPC cost is extremely high. So I set it up with max CPC with the maximum. Yeah, you can do that, absolutely. So what would you rather have? A cheap click with a low conversion rate, or a high CPC click with a high conversion rate? Think about it. I'd rather pay that expensive click which has got a higher conversion rate, because my cost per conversion will be lower. So it's not about the cheap clicks, right? And this is what we educate our clients. Don't look at the click. Click is a vanity metric, impression, CTR, you know, all of these don't matter if you don't have the conversion rate, and cost per conversion, or return on ad spend. So that is the 3 or 4 metrics which you want to focus on. And then, yes, you need to keep an eye on the other ones as well if things aren't working. But if they are working and you're getting expensive clicks but really good return on ad spend or profitable CPA, then you just keep scaling it up. I wouldn't bother. And that's how most people can't scale up either, because their bidding or the bids are not aggressive enough. Hello, back Facebook user. Sorry, I don't see your name over here. What is better method to run ads for clients? Use clients Google account, or using your own personal agency account? Great question. Never ever use your account. Never ever put your billing in your client accounts. So the way to do this is you set up an MCC, which is My Client Center. So if you go to Google and type in, or Google it, Google Ads MCC. So that is a separate kind of account, which is your master account. And then you request access from the MCC to the client. That client account gets entered into or linked into your MCC, and you can have hundreds. We have hundreds of accounts in our MCC, and that's how we do it. So you don't need, well, we are working on our client account, but they have set up their own billing. Some agencies, they will work in their account as long as their client is paying them, or their business model is different. They pay per lead or whatever, and they don't care about the CPCs and the budget and so on. As long as they get 100 leads a month at $10 a lead or whatever, that's what the client will pay the agency. We don't have that model. So again, I cannot tell you what to do and what not to do, because I don't know what your business model is. But majority of the agencies will be working it in this way. Oh, okay. I think you're referring to OBS. You can use a filter for green screen. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate your reply. Which is the best tool to analyze multi-touch attribution? Now, again, this is it's a can of worms. How deep you want to go into that hole, right? Um, the attribution models, it really depends on how you are tracking data, what is important, what isn't. We don't use any other tools or apps other than Google Analytics, which is more than good enough for us for what we do. Yes, there are lots of other tools as well, but for us, this is good enough. We will be starting to use Segmetrics, which is great for tracking Facebook as well as Google. So that is something which we are looking to implement within our CRM. Any tips on how to have the ads appear more on Google Ads? Yeah, smart campaigns. That's the best way to do it. So you may feel that, oh, it's giving us a lot of cheap clicks, irrelevant clicks, but yeah, smart campaigns. And Performance Max is also going to start, well, show ads on Google Maps, because it covers every Google network and channel. Lovely. I've got to hop off now because I've got another call booked in a few minutes time. So thank you so much for being here and for the lovely questions. I truly appreciate it, because it will be a little bit boring if I was just talking to my computer screen. So have a great weekend. I'll be back here on Tuesday afternoon, 3 p.m. in the UK. So till then, stay safe and goodbye.